ladies and gentlemen, friends and colleagues, now we are wired for sound. We're almost ready to start. Take our seats. So, first of all, let me introduce myself. My name's Dan Smith. I'm director of the SIPRI, the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. And then immediately let me make an apology for absence on the part of Silvia Colombo of the International Affairs Institute in Rome, who should have been here for today and indeed for tomorrow, but like the director of the International Affairs Institute, who was also going to be here, she's been stuck in Rome. The Norwegian flight from Rome to Stockholm was going to be delayed by 8 hours, and so that adds up to being a full day, more or less. Obviously, they were unable to make it. So apologies for that, but we remain with a fabulous panel for discussing our issue of insecurity in the refugee crisis, whose crisis and whose security are we talking about. Let me begin with Rolf Ekéus, His Excellency Ambassador Rolf Ekéus, former chairman of the High Commissioner on National Minorities at the OSCE, and also, amongst many other claims to fame, a former chairman of the governing board of SIPRI, our institute. Let me also introduce Lina Grip, who is a researcher in the European Security Programme at SIPRI, and thirdly, if I get out of the way so everybody can see him, Marcello Di Filippo, who is the associate professor at the University of Pisa in Italy and works with the International Affairs Institute in Rome on these refugee issues. Before saying anything else and introducing the event this afternoon, I want to thank and acknowledge the Italian Embassy and the Istituto Italiano di Cultura here in Stockholm for working together to put this meeting on. We're very grateful. We would not have been able to do it without this support. And it is part of a process of SIPRI and the International Affairs Institute in Rome working out whether and how we can do a joint project together, a joint research on some of these issues of refugee flows, forced migration, and their relationship to the big issues of peace and security. So this is a very important part of that process for us. And I'd like to begin by asking the Italian ambassador, Elena Basile, to please take the floor and give us some remarks. Thank you very much.
Yep. Well, thank you very much, Dan. I must say, first of all, I would like to thank the organizer and the Institute for International Affairs and the SIPRI for cooperating together on such a sensitive issue. When Dan Smith few months ago came to the embassy illustrating this initiative, of course, I tried to support it as I could, and with the Italian Cultural Institute, we decided to help from the point of view of organization and some financial aspects. Why? Because I think since I have been posted to Sweden, I realized that one of the priority for two partners belonging to two different regional blocks is to cooperate not only for the benefits of the bilateral cooperation, but for the cohesion, the European cohesion itself. And I think it's great that Sweden, that has a sovereignist tradition, and Italy, where we see more and more the national interest be identified with European integration, to countries with two different sensitivities to speak the same language, we can say, on the migration sector. And this is for me a demonstration that when the perception of the added value that Europe can provide in a sector is the right one, we can find a compromise among the 28 members and between completely different approaches.